Hi, welcome back to the Happy Hour podcast. I'm Tom Arthur.
And I'm Tom Dando.
So if you missed last episode, please catch up on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
So another quick reminder for you there. Any views expressed within this podcast are not representative of Marling School or its subsidiaries. And I should say very quickly, you might notice a significant increase in audio quality. And if you're watching live, or you're just watching it back, then you will notice these gorgeous microphones in the shot. So hopefully the audio is a bit better.
Yeah. So what we've got coming up for you in this episode, we've got a lot of stuff actually to cover. So we've got some staying organised hacks. We've got the Super Happy Minute, where we're going to talk about what made us happy this week. Then we got some extracurricular activities that we're going to talk about, diving a little bit into school uniform. And then in the second half, a little bit about secondary school and workload. So that's what we got.
Sounds like a jolly time.
Sounds like a blooming jolly time. Okay, so should we start with some staying organised hacks?
Sure. So you're in year 7. You've had to keep yourself pretty organised. What have you been doing to kind of keep yourself on track this year?
Well, the main thing I would say is do your homework the day you get it. It sounds easy. It sounds like, why wouldn't you do it? But a lot of people don't, and it costs them.
I think that is kind of be expected. Like, we can give as many advice and tips we give as much advice and as many tips as we possibly can. But realistically, I mean, a lot of people are going to do their homework the day before or the day of.
The day before you get it.
The day before it's due.
Oh, the day before it's due.
Silly boy.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of people are going to do it the day before it's due, which is actually a really bad idea. One of the things is it can really impact your sleep if you do everything and then you check AgeLink or whatever, and then you see that you've got homework due for tomorrow and it's this big essay. So you end up staying up really late or really early the next morning.
Yeah, it's so much easier to get overwhelmed if you kind of leave things to the last minute. You know, I've got an EPQ presentation due on Thursday.
Oof.
And it's not done yet, and I also have my written report to do, and I also have my artifact to do. I've got a lot of things to do, and my to-do list is pretty long, so leaving it maybe 2 days before isn't the best idea.
Yeah, so I think my tip for you in that situation would be do it in little increments. So do like half an hour today, and then take a 20-minute break, and then do another half an hour. Do you know what I mean? So you can try and get it all done when you can, so you're not ending up doing it Wednesday night, 3 a.m, to get it done just before the presentation. So you're doing it in little increments to get it done really efficiently. So that's what I'd say.
Cool. That is a good idea. Yeah, I mean, you said about kind of doing it in smaller increments, I think. And a good thing for that is the Flora app, which I mentioned last week, because it's good for kind of keeping track of timings and everything. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I used it today whilst doing EPQ stuff. I got a lot of stuff on my plate. So organisation is really, really important. I think people kind of underestimate that. So since the start of the year, obviously I've started year 12 this year. I've seen a lot of organisation tips. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos beforehand of what I should do. One of the things that I took forward at the start of the year was a day folder. So a lot of the subjects in sixth form kind of require a LibreArch file. So rather than bring in all 3 of those for each subject, I just bring in one with all the information for that day. So I don't have to carry a bunch of stuff around. That's quite a good way to get organised, and then when you come home you just whack it all into the other folders and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, so that's a really good tip of staying ahead of the game, so you don't have loads of stuff. And I think another thing for that is, whatever you might think, don't keep all your books in your bag at the same time, because I did that at the start of year 7, and some people still do it, but it's so heavy, and it's not worth it, because it takes literally 2 seconds to pack your bag. Well, not literally 2 seconds, but literally 2 minutes to pack your bag the night before.
Yeah, good one, champ.
And then at that time you can also check if there are any homeworks due last minute.
Yeah.
That you need to stay up till like 3 a.m. for.
I mean, the implementation this year of EduLink has actually been really beneficial for a lot of people. You know, it's a much easier way to keep track of things. Your teachers can upload it rather than leaving an irresponsible youth to upload it. It's just kind of easier to keep track of things because the teacher is all in charge of it.
There's so much more stuff on there, so you can get like homework, notices, exams,
and it's all on your phone. So
all on your phone.
Many people are more likely to check their phone than they are to check like a planner. Like I bought a planner this year. I haven't looked at it since I bought it, so it's £2.50.
Yeah. Eek. And school planners don't really use them. But yeah, because it's all on your phone, all with EduLink.
Yeah.
EduLink.com.
Good one.
Yeah, right, should we move on a little bit?
Yeah, we can if you like.
So basically...
Yeah. Oh, we do actually have a question here from John.
Yeah.
Nice. What have you guys done this week that's made you happy? You know, I feel like this should be like a running thing, I think.
Yeah.
Like just talking about what's made us happy this week. Yeah. So what has made you happy?
What has made me happy this week? Well. Let me tell you about what has made me happy this week. So I went.
Yep.
Yeah, right, you go first.
No, take it away.
Okay,
you start the story, I don't want to interrupt.
So I went to the cinema a few days ago. And there was we watched a film called Bohemian Rhapsody, which is about Queen and
That's not very good.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, well, okay.
So I think you're wrong on that one.
Then.
But yeah, so it's about Queen on their 1985 Live Aid performance, which was amazing, actually. Really good. And it's a really accurate film as well. Very close to the historically accurate bit. And behind us was sat a woman. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but she was quite drunk. And she had said some inappropriate things, to say the least. Right, what's made you happy? Moving on.
I got to spend money this week.
Yeah, so what did you spend money on this week?
I spent money on a new PC so I could do more of my schoolwork.
Schoolwork?
Yeah, pretty much. Like actually schoolwork. Like it is a gaming PC. But
it's for schoolwork.
But it is mainly for schoolwork, like video game design. Because that's what I'm into.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else has made you happy apart from money? Because you don't need money to be happy. Top life tip, lads. You do not need money to be happy. Money does not equal happiness. Just having a look at Tom's PC there.
Yeah, Pauli is our temp sound guy for today. He's just got it up on a screen. It looks very nice.
Right, can we actually focus on what we're trying to talk about here? So what else has made you happy this week? Apart from spending money.
I got to see my girlfriend.
That's nice.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Okay, moving on. So
Cheers.
Extracurricular stuff. Big topic. I don't know why I keep moving this mic.
You shouldn't. There are so many like extracurricular things you could do nowadays.
Especially
it's crazy.
Marling. There's
Especially
so
in
much
Marling.
stuff.
That's the
like
thing.
Literally, you can do. I can name. Right, let's try and name 20 clubs. Top of our head.
You think about that while I carry on.
Cool.
You know, even this. Like, we
doing a
just
podcast.
Sat down. We started with really bad headsets. We started with just an IT room which wasn't being used at lunch, and we just started, and now it's evolved into like a studio. We've got these snazzy mics. We've got a new mixer. We've got.
They're not your mics.
I didn't say they were my mics.
Anyway, and one of the things
and we got a lot of new PCs as well. So I mean,
we've gone from not having much to building it up.
Yeah,
you know, and making it amazing.
This has all been extracurricular.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I spend a lot of my time doing because it's something that I enjoy.
And just this has got so many opportunities inside of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
We've got audio. We've got whatever Billy's doing.
Nice.
We've got actual commenting.
We've got on-screen
shoutcasting. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, it literally can just stem from an idea, even if it's something that isn't implemented yet. Like, a few people a few years ago set up a Pokemon club or a Yu-Gi-Oh club, and I mean that's not my thing. But if it is your thing,
then
just
check
go
it out.
for it. Like, if you want to set up a club, just set it up.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Right, we got a good phrase there. So let's do a bit on that. So I think you're completely right in the whole. Literally, if there's a chance, take it. If you've got an opportunity,
or make your own chances.
Yeah. If you've got an opportunity to make something, to do something, to compete, to make a project, to do some schoolwork, whatever it is, do a club, then I think just take it, because you can do so much. And even if it doesn't work out, you can always like leave it. Like if you do a club and you think, actually, am I really into that? And then you do it for a week and then you think, no, then you can stop.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you want to set up a film club and then a few weeks later something better comes along, like that's okay.
Why is the camera still on me?
You got to seek opportunities where you can. You got to create your own opportunities, and I think that's a really important thing to take into consideration.
Even if like you try to make something and it doesn't work out, and something else better takes over it, then you can still like make something out of it.
Exactly.
You can still try.
You can still just give it a shot. You know, there are so many things nowadays where all you have to do is try, and it could send you down a completely different path to what you think you were going to be on, but it could be a much better path. So, yeah, we went off on a bit of a tangent on extracurricular activities, but
right, what's next?
All right, you're working through the list a bit quickly there, bud. Like, what do you do for your extracurricular stuff? What do you just do in your free time?
What do I do for my extracurricular stuff? Well, extracurricular activities with me. Okay, so we're talking about in school or out of school or both?
Yeah, both.
So, out of school, I do a gym club. Gym club. We do like parkour and stuff.
Oh, that is cool. I've always wanted to do parkour.
Yeah, it's really fun. You should give it a shot. That's really fun. I really enjoy that. In school, I do this every Tuesday.
Yeah, with your best mate Tom. Me.
Sure.
Nice.
And I did Rocket League shoutcasting, which was really fun. What extracurricular? Hang on a sec. What extracurricular activities do you do?
I was actually going to ask you, do you have any regrets with that? Like,
no.
Do you have any?
Living with no regrets. Well, what do you mean? Elaborate.
Like, do you regret spending time on any of that stuff?
No. I think time is valuable, but you can always afford to use a little bit of it to try something new that might make something amazing or might just let it completely flop. But whatever it is, it'll...
Yeah, at least you gave it a shot.
Yeah, at least you gave it a shot. What extracurricular activities do you do?
Well, I mean, every lunch I rock up here. After school, most days I rock up here, either on screen, behind the screen, doing sound, doing video, whatever I kind of need to. It's there's a lot that I do, and mainly it's to do with kind of Marling Media as a team, as a production company, which is really exciting. You know, obviously I've been there since the beginning, kind of building it up, and now that we're now we're here, we're doing loads of new things. We've got kind of sponsorships on the line. We've got a company on the line. It is crazy to think that we've come this far, and it is kind of really exciting to be a part of that. And it all started with just kind of a shot, you know. It was just us thinking this could be fun. You know, it was me and Billy kind of just sat there in an assembly one day, and we just looked at each other and we thought, why not give it a shot? And now we're here. Tuesday afternoon. Come so far.
So what do you think about if you want to like do something new or try a new club, but you're a bit unconfident and you're not really sure if that is the right thing for you? What would you say for that?
What would you say to that?
What would I say to that? Throwing it back at me.
Yeah.
Sure, I wasn't expecting that, but so I think I would say go for it, but if you're a bit worried, I'd say take a friend, take someone you trust.
Drag someone along.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just like take them there, and then you can say, right, I just want to just ask if I can do this once. And then it's so much easier with another person, I find, if you're especially if you're shy and you're trying to like apply for a club, or you've missed the first session but you still want to do it.
Yeah, having
Just-
moral support is so important.
Just to go up
Yeah.
to that friend and be like, please, will you just come with me for 2 minutes? And I'm sure they'll say yeah. And then you can go, and even if the teacher says, no, you're too late, or sorry, you can't do this, then at least you tried. And I
Yeah, at
think
least you tried.
it's about having that confidence that even if you try but it doesn't work out, it doesn't matter.
And there's still something to learn from it as well.
Yeah, every you only learn from mistakes. Well, you don't only learn, but you learn from your mistakes.
Nice.
What would be your tips?
I mean, all those many years ago when I started in year 7, I didn't have many friends. Not much has changed. But like,
You're joking. Sorry.
yeah, I'm joking. Yeah.
Go on.
But like, I wanted to do kind of drama stuff. Miss you, Mr. Gillett. Big up. I remember when he like did the Shakespeare stuff. When he did like the when he did the Shakespeare. Okay, when he did the Shakespeare plays, you know, I really wanted to be a part of that, and I started lower down, because as you do, like year 7, you go into a school. You go into a new school and you want to seek out any opportunity you can, but like sometimes you do just have to start at the bottom, work your way up. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Billy's creasing behind the camera, but I mean that's okay because it is the happy hour. We're allowed to be happy. We're allowed to just kind of crease ourselves a bit.
Yeah. So.
Stop! It's really hot in here.
So, we got a question.
We got a question from Sammy. So, having been in both uniform, Tom's in uniform,
And non-uniform.
well, you're not in uniform right now.
No, because I took a jumper.
Nice. And
Thanks.
non-uniform, do you think the uniform as a whole is a good thing? I think that's an excellent question.
That's a really good question. I think personally, yeah, because it's good to. You always think like no, like why? You probably think that anyway. It's not the point. If you go out somewhere in your school uniform, I think it's important to like represent your school and be proud of your school.
Yeah.
And I think that just the uniform just shows like, yeah.
It's like a sense of togetherness.
Yeah, but I think playing devil's advocate here, I think it is
I was
sort
about to do that,
okay. Yeah, go on, you go.
I mean, being devil's advocate here, one of the main kind of responses when teachers or just anybody in general says that school uniform is a bad thing is that like it can lead to bullying, which is obviously a really serious thing. Like it's one of the worst things in the world. But I would disagree with that. I don't think it would lead to, especially if it was a long running thing, because eventually people are just like, whatever. Like,
I think.
I'm looking at non-school uniform days as well. It's alright.
Yeah.
And looking at sixth form as well. Us sixth formers, not you, but us. Speaking as me, like we don't wear a school uniform. We have a dress code.
Yeah.
But we don't have a uniform per se, and it works out fine.
Yeah. So that I think I agree with you on like it works fine sometimes, but I think it can like not work out if you get someone who's like wearing really expensive brands. You know, on that, even if it's just that like one day,
Yeah.
and someone comes in wearing really expensive brands and like loads and loads of stuff, and then someone else comes in and they're not dressed as well, and you can look like you don't live up to.
Yeah, you don't kind of fit in.
Yeah, but then I think it's not a big problem, because if it was a big problem, then the sixth formers would have uniform. But obviously, you just have a dress code and a simple dress code,
Yeah.
and it works.
I think there are kind of arguments on both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever going to be kind of this one solid answer. I do think that like our situation is a really good compromise, because they do kind of leave it to the sixth formers to dress the way that they choose, the way they kind of see fit, and like of course people in sixth form are going to be way more mature. They're going to be able to deal with stuff like this, whereas like I'm not saying that the younger years are immature, but like maybe they're just not as used to acceptance. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you're completely right that we might seem very mature, But it's true that as you get older, you develop more, you mature more. So I think it is better to have sixth formers to not have a uniform than for like year 7, 8, and 9 to not have a uniform, because you're more mature and you can deal with even if it does lead to that sort of not very nice things.
Yeah.
Then you can take it.
I mean, I feel like we could be debating about this all day. And speaking of debates, actually, we do have a debating podcast coming quite soon called Talk It Out, where a few debaters will kind of get together in a room and they'll just debate an issue.
Yeah, that's going to be a really, really good podcast, hopefully.
So, yeah, it should be starting very soon.
Really
and also, if you do have any questions, you can catch us live at youtube.com/Marling Media. That's where we will hopefully stream our podcasts and any of our kind of media productions that aren't under the Matador Gaming headline.
Yeah, so any other questions you've got, make sure to drop them in chat, and I'm sure we'll try and answer them as soon as we can.
Exactly. So I think we should take a quick break now, bud.
Yeah, so we'll see you after the break. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to the Happy Hour podcast, the second half where me and Tom are going to talk about kind of moving up in the world, dealing with the workload, and my co-host right here, Tom,
I'm
is
the
going to...
host.
Oh, maybe we should leave this conversation till off camera. But you are going to tell all of us your life hacks for dealing with year 7.
Yeah,
and the
moving
increase
into
in
year 7
workload.
from year 6 to year 7.
Yep, bad to bad.
Cool. Okay. So.
But first, what?
But first, we've
Oh.
got a question.
But first, we've got a question from Adam Cheese.
No, it's Adam. It's Adam. Adam Cheese.
From Adam Cheese 10.
Adam.
What is your most embarrassing moments so far? So far at school. Take it away, Tom.
No, you can start.
I have too many. School has been a long time for me.
Yeah, go on. Hit me with some.
No end in sight. Well, we mentioned Mr. Gillett earlier. Rest his soul. He's not dead, but we just miss him. Yeah. Where'd it go?
Anyway, back to the
Where did it go?
podcast.
Where did it go?
Talk about Mr. Gillett.
It's on the floor.
So, Mr. Gillett. Mr. Gillett. Tell me about Mr. Gillett.
Now, Billy knows the story. He loves it. We always tell it. It was like a real kind of team bonding exercise for us. This traumatic experience. So we used to do drama after school with our main boy, Mr. Gillett, every Thursday for 2 hours, which sounds like an absolute nightmare, and trust me, it was. And Mr. Gillett, he has a habit of kind of repeating what we just said. Through no fault of his own.
Repeating what we just said?
Through no fault of his own. It's like if me and Billy had decided something in a group, and then he comes over and suggests the exact same thing. So, I mean, fair play on his part. We're thinking along the same lines. But it was just kind of a meme, because we were always like, yeah, we could try that, even though we'd already decided that it was a great idea. And one fateful day, this happened. It was me and Billy going through a scene, and we had a brilliant idea. Mr. Gillett came and repeated the exact same thing. And year 10 Tom, not a nice person. So when Mr. Gillett turned his back, I then proceeded to clap him. Silently, obviously. I kind of just went, yeah, well done. Quite mockingly. I do feel so ashamed. It wasn't a very nice thing. And just as I did that, he turned around and saw me clapping him. So instantly I was like... And the look on his face when he saw what I'd just done, it broke him.
You could hear his heart break.
You could hear his heart shatter into a million pieces. And to this day, I still cry about it.
Oh, well, that was a good story with a little bit of pressing end, but I mean, sure. Any other really
too many to list. Maybe I'll save
stories?
another for next week, champ.
Okay.
Have you got any embarrassing moments? I mean, you're year 7. The whole thing is an embarrassment.
Yeah, you're too right, actually. Whole thing is an embarrassment. I can't think of any right now.
Any fun experiences with Mr. Davis?
Yeah. Always a fun experience with Mr.
You gonna
Davis.
tell us any or?
Am I? If I can think of any. Not being mean to Mr. Davis, but
No,
you know,
he has kind of funded all of this. Well, no, he hasn't. That's a lie.
that's a lie. Why are you lying?
Don't know. So let's talk about what we were going to talk about. Your thoughts on moving up into secondary school and your kind of tips and hacks for how to adapt and make new friends.
Right. First thing is...
Weird that you're answering this, but take away.
So, first thing is homework.
Carls.
So, when you're 6, I had no homework. But you might get like a tiny bit. IDRK.
IDRK?
Yeah, I don't really know.
Oh!
You might, yeah. You might get a tiny bit. You might get a tiny bit of homework in year 6 or 5 or whatever. But I didn't get any. And then, so in year 7, I got quite a lot. But I think the amount of homework you get actually eases a lot through year 7. Because at the start,
I got kind of heavy hitting. And then they're like, okay.
And then they're like, all right, chill out. And
a lot of teachers often forget by the end of the year. Which, I mean, like, we're all human. We all forget things. Paoli's just stood at the door. Bit weird. Yeah, we're all human. We all forget things. So fair enough on them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why the homework eases. Anyway, homework
is actually very scarce in year 12, surprisingly. I think Billy would agree with me there.
Yeah, it's very independent learning.
Yeah. A lot of it is scholarship, which is like work that you do beyond school.
That's the big thing. It's about what you're choosing to do yourself, not just the homework you'll say. It's about like, am I gonna do extra stuff to help me learn this? And it's not about, the homework is never for the teacher. It's for you to learn. And that's the big thing.
Yeah, that is a really important thing, because so many people are just like, oh, what is the point of doing this homework for the teacher? She or he or they are not gonna. I just
Mr. Gillett joke there. Sorry.
What?
Don't worry.
They're not gonna care. But the point is for them not. It's not for them to care. It's for you to care. Like, this is your education. It is really important. Like, obviously there are going to be things you don't want to do, but at the end of the day, you just have to do them.
You're right there. Anyway, what else?
Heavy truth there.
One big thing was the canteen. I mean, it's a weird thing to go about, but in primary school we had really bad food, and it was like a completely different way of getting it. Like, we paid at the end of the month the total that we had to pay, but we got a really advanced biometric system that I think is really good, and the food is so much nicer.
I always brought packed lunch.
You look like a packed lunch kid, to be fair. Anyway,
Get bullied, yeah.
I'm not bullying. It's a compliment.
No, I mean, like, I get bullied.
Is this completely unrelated to the packed lunch thing?
No, this is. I'm saying that, like, I take packed lunches because then that way I don't have to give bullies my lunch money.
Okay, but what? We don't actually have lunch money.
Do we not?
No.
That's a really good segue actually into bullying. Have you been bullied?
Have I been bullied?
Bit, but I
was
worded that quite harshly, but sorry.
I haven't been bullied actually at all in year 7, but I know a few people that have, and I think one of the things is we're really accepting. So, and we really know like how to get help if we are getting bullied.
I thought you meant of bullies. I was like,
No. So like if you're getting bullied, there's so many places you can go.
Yeah.
Namely the Anti-Bullying Association, pastoral office.
Yeah.
If it gets that bad, head teacher.
Yeah, he's always willing to help. Dr. Wilson.
Shout out.
Big up.
Yeah. Have you ever been bullied by your lunch money?
Not by my lunch money. I don't think I've been bullied by my lunch money, actually. Moving on. I mean, let's say I've not been the most popular person in the world.
Oh. Okay, how have you dealt with that? How have you dealt with that to get where you are now?
There have been so many kind of avenues of support. And I think, like something that you mentioned, you know, there are so many different things that we have available to us. Like just friends, you know. People often forget that friends are such a vital pillar of support, and if I had any, then I would most certainly make use of them.
That's so good. Like going back to the simple things, just friends. They're
Yeah.
just so useful. But then sometimes it is like harder.
Still getting used to these mics.
Yeah,
I'm
still
not quite
getting
sure how to
used.
use them.
So friends, really useful.
Friends. Yeah.
Wish you had any. JK.
Thanks, champ. So it's yeah.
So what do you think of the workload of moving up into year 12? Top tips, etc. For the people joining sixth form.
Sorry, champ, I missed that.
Sorry, champ. I said your thoughts on how to deal with the workload of moving up into year 12. Your top tips and to people joining sixth form.
I mean, we covered this briefly last week on episode 1 of the Happy Hour, which you can also catch on
Spotify
iTunes now.
and Apple Podcasts and iTunes now.
Maybe iTunes, is that right? Yes, and iTunes.
And iTunes.
At the Happy Hour podcast, maybe, if I've got that right. Yeah, we touched on this briefly last week. It's kind of dealing with the workload. Again, key thing, organisation. Keeping on top of things. Make sure you
Flora
have
app.
a list.
Sorry.
Make sure you have a list of things that you need to do and you can tick them off. The thing is, a lot of the people add small things onto their lists, like have breakfast. And they add things for the purpose of ticking them off. And sometimes I think that's quite a good thing.
Just getting that sense of...
It's like motivation. Like the satisfaction of having something ticked off, you can then go, okay, I can work towards the next thing. And just kind of building up, like maybe...
one less thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's like clean your room. Like that puts me
That
in
is
such a
very
positive
hard.
mental... Thanks, champ. That puts me in such a positive mental attitude. I'm trying to eat a Werther while commentating on mental health.
Other hard toffees
I'm not going
are...
to swallow the Werther.
Other hard toffees are available. Sorry, yeah, keep
Werthers
going.
aren't toffees, are they?
Yeah, they are,
They're
sort of.
butter candies.
Are they?
Yeah.
No, not, because this is butter and mint.
It's just a candy.
No, it's not. It's just sweet. Anyway,
What was I saying?
workload.
Workload. What was I saying about that?
Organisation.
Organisation. What about that?
Tick stuff.
Tick stuff off your list. So, yeah, tidying your room. Such a small thing, but it puts me in such like a tidy mind space as well as a tidy environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Which,
And tidy environment, just going on a little bit of a one on that. That's really important to not have sort of loads of stuff on your desk. Not have loads of stuff on your desk and have your work place really, really cramped is really good.
yeah. I agree.
Now.
I do.
Right, we got a question
It just makes me so much more motivated. We have a question, do we?
from Tom.
From Tom22. Wow.
Oh, Tom,
It's like,
it's me.
it's your Tom22.
No, but it's me. It's in Tom. Don't worry, you know. So I think we're
We're
gonna.
all called Tom. Is what we're establishing.
Yeah.
Stop moving the mic.
Sorry.
Okay, Tom22. I'll take this. Half term coming up. Any tips for how much we should revise, etc.? It depends what year you're in.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does.
It does. Because, like,
Year 7.
obviously I'm going to revise for GCSEs more than I'd maybe revise for year 8 exams. What do you think I was going to
I
say?
thought you said, I'm going to revise for GCSEs. I was like,
No, you're not.
You've done them.
No, but I mean, like, theoretically, if I was in year 11, I'd revise more than if I was in, like, year 8 or year 7. So, all in consideration. Like,
Yeah.
it's all what you can manage. Whilst still keeping on top of, like, your mental health. Obviously, a really important thing. That's kind of what this podcast started as. Really key thing.
Yeah.
All
so
in moderation.
all in moderation and all in like it. You can't just say right, do this for this. Like it's completely depends on if you're in year 7, you're gonna do a little bit less than if you're in year 12 or year 11 doing your GCSEs or A levels. You're gonna revise more.
So, just taking this back to the beginning, should you revise?
Isn't that a bit of an obvious question?
Maybe not to some people.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, you should
Trust me.
revise. Is the answer.
Yeah. even if it's just like a small thing, like reading as French words, just like a recap once a day for 5 minutes, like that can solidify a lot of your knowledge. So even if it's just like the smallest thing ever, it can still be beneficial to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gonna.
So should we revise? Is the answer yes?
Yes.
But it completely, like we're saying, it completely depends what year you're in. I think it's about you deciding how much you should revise, because you need to learn, like, is this test, how much do I know about this subject? Therefore, do I need to do a lot? Do I need to do not as much?
Like, obviously, I prioritised computing over some subjects at GCSE just because I want to do computing. I want to do it for A-level, and I do it for A-level now because of the shift that I put in. So how much would you say that because you obviously had your Year 7 exams, how much would you say that you revised?
Honestly, not as much as I said I did.
So how much should you have revised?
I think a little bit more than I did, but I think that was important because I needed that test to sort of give me a little base of how much I should have revised.
It's like a control. You kind of learn from that.
Actually, I should have done a bit more on. So I think on me personally, I should have done a little bit more on science. And then a tiny bit on English.
Wow.
Eek.
Yeah, maybe you should have.
Would you have revised more for your GCSEs, if you could?
Right. GCSEs were such a blur for me. Like, I can barely remember revising, and whether that's a testament to whether I revised or whether I didn't and played Pokemon for my Easter half term is a testament to something. I forgot where I was going with that. Because, like, truth be told, I spent my Easter holidays playing Pokemon. I played Pokemon Soul Silver for a total of 60 hours over that 2 weeks.
Over that fortnight. Sorry.
Which is a lot of time. 60 hours of revision would have done me well. Because there are things that I'm disappointed by.
So, what time do you wake up? Sorry, I just...
You literally just interrupted my paragraph to move on to the next prompt. That's rude. What was I saying?
I don't know. So what time do you wake up?
I wake up at about 8. Genuinely. And I know that's really bad. I know it's bad for my mental health. But I'm so tired.
Do you go to bed too late, do you think?
100%. What time do you go to sleep?
Like 10. Half 10.
That's decent. I wish I went to sleep then.
When do you go to sleep?
It depends how I'm feeling.
On average.
Probably midnight. Which I know is bad. I know it's bad. But I do it anyway.
But you're still getting 8 hours.
Yeah. But sometimes I don't get 8 hours. Which means that, like, there's never a time where I'm catching up.
Yeah, we did a little bit in life skills about...
What, sleeping?
Yeah, we literally did. So we did a little bit in life skills about
It's so hot in
keeping
here,
a consistent... I don't have any water. Billy, can you get me some water, please? About getting a consistent sleep routine. So, like, go to bed here, read till here, sleep then.
I wish I had the motivation to read. I used to love reading so much, which makes me sound like a massive nerd, and probably explains the thing that I said earlier about bullying. But like I loved it. I loved just kind of getting lost, and it's such like a nice thing to kind of forget everything that's going on and immerse yourself into a book. And I can't capture that essence again. Like, I got Game of Thrones for Christmas. I got all of the books for Christmas. 2017. I haven't even started them.
Oh.
Which is really sad.
Oh, Tom.
I know.
Yeah, so...
What are we talking about?
What time do I wake up? I wake up at 6.
Crikey. So you don't get 8 hours sometimes?
No, I wake up at 6:30. I do. Ish.
Do you think that's enough? Because, like, people say 8 hours. I think you need more. Like, coming from a person
It depends on the
who likes to
person.
sleep, I think you need more.
I think it completely depends on the person. Because if you're... Like, if you find yourself being really tired every day and
Yeah.
you wake up and then, like, period 2, you're thinking, oh, I'm so tired.
Yeah, I wish I was at home.
Then
with a cup
obviously
of tea.
sleep more. But if you're really, like, hyper and you never, like,
Yeah.
you're happy with the amount of sleep you get, then
But
I think,
sometimes oversleeping can make you tired as well.
yeah, I've never had that myself, but
Well, it's a thing.
it's a thing. Sure.
Because like you never give your mind a chance to wake up. Yeah. What was I gonna say?
What were you going to say? What's the best way to deal with them?
Y-
What do you think?
To deal with what?
What's the best way to deal with them?
What's the best? To deal with them?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What is the best way to deal with them?
What's the best
Go
way to
for
deal
it.
with them?
Go for it.
Well, the way I would deal with them is, as we were saying earlier, organisation and getting enough sleep.
I would say the Flora app.
The Flora app. It's so good.
We're
We
memeing
can
on it way
actually
too much.
right. I was looking at Flora the other day, and if we gave like a crisp review of Flora and show it to them, they give us Flora Premium for free.
Should we be talking about that off camera?
No.
Or
So
not? Sure.
Flora, I think, is a really good app.
Flora.
The one thing I would say is
Can I
maybe
do some ASMR for Flora?
no. Have you given us another prompt, Billy? Yes. If you could, what's the best way to deal with them?
Yeah, what
If
does
you
that
could
mean?
go back to past you, like 2 or 3 years ago, what would you tell yourself? Little message to the past.
What would I tell myself? I would tell myself to embrace primary school.
Embrace primary school.
Yeah, and also
Primary school seems so far away.
I would say about SATs. Some of you might be doing SATs. I think people had their SATs like a week ago. Might be a bit irrelevant.
Might be a bit irrelevant. Unless they're watching this like in a year's time.
Sure. What would I say about SATs?
Like our year 5 audience.
SATs, I think I revised a lot for SATs, and Marling School didn't really use them. But
yeah.
I think
it's because we
they're-
have cats as well.
they're a good practice.
They are a good practice.
And
good.
also, what would you tell yourself 2 or 3 years ago? Year like 9 or whatever.
Year 9. Don't be such a... I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory. I really didn't like myself as a person in year 9. I feel like I should just take myself and shake him and be like, what are you doing?
Can we change the camera, please?
What are you doing?
What are you
Hey.
doing? Right,
Uh,
what's next?
I'm so tired. Sorry if I'm a bit out of it today.
You should get some more sleep.
I should get some more
Try
sleep.
and work yourself into a sleep
But that-
routine.
This is the thing I was going to say.
Yes.
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 Back to sleeping.
Sleeping. I like sleeping.
Sometimes it's a difficult compromise because maybe you do need more sleep, but maybe you don't get a chance to get it. You know, I've got a lot of work on my plate. I've got work on the weekends. It's difficult for me to get enough sleep to keep up with all of the activity that I do. All of the activity, the many activities
That you do.
that I do.
So what's your point? I don't really get your point.
Because we were saying earlier that you should just get more sleep, and sometimes it's not as simple as that.
Yeah.
Like, people forget that everybody has their own situation. Everybody has their own environment that they're in, and we should appreciate that a bit more.
I think you're completely right.
Thanks, champ.
Yeah.
If I go back into the past and tell myself a few things, I'd tell myself to be a bit more considerate, just to let things go a bit. So bad at this. I tell myself to kind of let things go a bit, because sometimes I do hold on to things a bit too long. I do overthink things, and if I just told myself to kind of let things go, maybe I'd be a very, very different, maybe much happier person today.
Right, so what is the best way to deal with them? 3-1-3-2-1. That is the real question.
So basically, I'm going to explain this because people might be confused. If you're listening if you're listening on the Spotify or the iTunes or the Apple Podcasts, our production guy behind the scenes, Billy, has a document that he updates throughout the stream to let us know what we should talk about, and he's literally just written what's the best way to deal with them. 3-1-3-2-1.
And
So-
on that bombshell.
And on that bombshell, I think we should end it here. Hopefully next week we'll have a few more people involved.
And
in
it'll
the
be
stream.
absolute banter. So make sure you
Yeah.
come back next week, Tuesday, around about 4 p.m.
Yeah. So
Thank you very much for
thanks
watching.
for watching. Catch
game?
up on
Yeah.
Marling Media YouTube channel. Check out the esports on Marling_esports on Twitch.
Come on.
Check out Matador Gaming on Twitch as well, and on the YouTube where we upload all of our VODs.
Twitch.tv /Marling_esport.
Nice. And check us out on Spotify. Check out the bulletin board. That's our flagship podcast. We love it. It's got me and it's got Ben.
Not the flagship
And we talk about
podcast.
gaming and nerd things. So it's much better than this. Thank you very much for listening.
See you next week.
Bye.